Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Kalika and I hate Mondays like a lot of people. So I thought I'd make a video to remind myself and possibly a few of you out there that, hey, it's not so bad. I also know there are a few people out there who need a few smiles today, so this one's for you. To the greatest customers a businessman could ask for, it has been my pleasure to provide and service everyone these past 25 years. I regret to announce that Bargain Stop will be closing its doors on the 28th of February of this new year. Throughout these years, I have met several people of different backgrounds, each with their own story to tell. I have seen numerous babies become customers themselves, and they in turn bring their own children to shop. It is for occasions such as these that have made my line of work an enjoyable one. Over these 25 years, you have all become more than just customers. You have become family. There have been good times and hard times. There have been laughs of joy and tears of sorrow along the way. I thank each one of you, my customers, for providing my staff and I 25 years of happiness and pleasure. To the future and forward, I wish everyone the best in life and more. Thank you again. Peter Christakos. Aww. Hopefully he's going into a well-deserved retirement. If your name is Maggie, you attend NC State University, and your grandparents come to Chick-fil-A in Mount Airy, you should know that they adore you and they were telling me how proud they are of you. They told me you made the Dean's List. Good job, girl. Hey man, I don't know you, and you don't know me, but I saw that you had Black Desert Online on your wish list, and it's currently free. Just wanted to tell you that. Have a nice day. Friend, I don't know you either, but what you did is so kind that you gave me a smile. Thank you. No problem, have fun with the game. And I think it still is currently free to play, so if any of you out there are interested. If you're reading this and are going through a difficult time right now, please understand that things need to get worse before they can get better. Once you've hit the bottom, the only place you can go is up. You are very close to reaching the top of the mountain that you've been climbing. You just can't see it yet. You're so close. You're in a snowstorm and you can't see very far in front of you. All you can do right now is focus on what you can see and what's right in front of you. The top of the mountain is right there. One step at a time. You'll make it. Dear Delta, today when we landed in northwest Arkansas, the bags were slow to get loaded into the jetway. The pilot came out and started unloading them himself. A lot of leaders forget they can carry a bag too. It was a great example of teamwork. Thanks for the awesome service. This is a fantastic idea. Free coffee board. Just put up your loyalty stamps or whatever and someone can get in and get a coffee if they need it. Love what matters. So this is a picture of me on the left and Darren, a homeless guy from Liverpool. Every day on my way to work I see Darren. He says hello, we have a chat and I go get him a cup of coffee. He's a massive Everton fan and I'm a massive Liverpool fan, but we always have good banter about the football. Darren used to have a job and a girlfriend, but he lost all that after his girlfriend died and he went into depression. Now he lives on the streets of Liverpool. So I decided that instead of spending money on stupid things at Christmas like cards and expensive food, I'd use the money to get Darren and I tickets to an Everton match. When I told him, he burst out crying and gave me the best hug ever. We had a great time at the match and he was so grateful. He even offered to buy the coffee this time. Anyway, the reason I'm posting this today is that Darren is no longer on the streets. He's got a council flat and is working part-time. Last week he had me round for dinner. I'm so proud of him. I posted this story to show you that a little bit of kindness can go so far and help get someone on the right track again. I used to drink coffee with Darren on the streets, then I did it at Goodison Park, and now we drink it in his flat. Please share. Dear patients, medical practice has changed dramatically in recent years, and it's become clear to me that I cannot continue to run my practice without major changes including computerization. So after many months of deliberations and long discussions with my family, I have, with great sadness, decided to announce that I will be bringing my practice to a close over the course of the coming months. I graduated in medicine and surgery in 1956 and have practiced medicine for 64 years. I have enjoyed every day of that time seeing my patients. I will be 87 years old in April 2020, and I feel privileged to have been granted such a long medical career. Most medical practices are now large, multifunctional clinics, and the administration of a medical practice now requires electronic record keeping and data management. Patient files are being transferred to electronic medical records, and prescription of medicines will require online registration. I have been notified that I will be unable to comply with Medicare requirements for rebated healthcare based on my current systems and documentation processes. However, at this stage of my life, I cannot change the way I have always treated my patients, and I'm unable to computerize my practice to the necessary level. I have not yet been advised about the period of time that I will be allowed to bring the practice to a close. However, during this time, whilst you are making arrangements to find a new family doctor, I will continue to provide you with the same dedicated, thorough, caring attention that I have always provided. If required, I will prepare a medical summary for each of you to take to your new doctor. I would like to thank you for allowing me to be your family doctor for all these years, and when I finally retire, I know I will think of you all as part of my extended family. Please show this letter to all of your family members and all of your friends who are my patients. My best wishes to you all. Still practicing as a doctor at 87? My god, that is dedication. Arnold Schwarzenegger meant a lot to me growing up. I don't know if it's true, but I was told he had a hard time starting in movies because he had such a thick Austrian accent, but he was persistent enough in trying that he got casted, and what was once seen as weakness was now a strength. I was different and weird. I had a scar on my face. I learned to lean into who I was. Being different is only a weakness if you let it be. Be persistent. I'm not Conan, I'm not the Terminator, but I still know who I am and won't let my differences be a weakness. I'm glad he's been active in using social media to continue to make a positive influence decades later, the same way his movies helped me growing up. And then Arnold replied, "Hey, thank you. I'm proud that I can inspire people, but I want you to stop for a second and think about how many people you're inspiring with your attitude. I love your positivity, and I love even more that you're passing on some motivation you found in your life to everyone around you." That's so cool. This is a long one, but buckle in, it is absolutely fantastic. In college, I lived in a dorm. We got along but didn't know each other too well, as it was only a couple weeks into the year. However, this was my second year in the dorm, and I knew a few of them. One of these people, who we'll call Fred, not his real name, really loved apple juice. Like, most of his mini fridge was nothing but single-serving bottles of apple juice. The only thing that wasn't apple juice was his roommate's occasional soda or food. One day, he was out at a late club meeting, and I went over to talk to his roommate about something I don't remember. While we were talking, his roommate opened the fridge to get a soda or something, and all I remember is seeing the apple juice and thinking, hey, I should put his apple juice in my fridge. So I did. Everyone else on our dorm floor found out I put it in my fridge, and they wanted some too, so next thing we knew, everyone had 1 or 2 bottles of apple juice. But this wasn't enough fun for us. Within an hour, everyone had come up with some sort of quest he would have to complete in order to get his apple juice back. Eventually, someone, who will remain nameless but is by far my favourite human I've ever met, suggested we theme the thing around the Legend of Zelda because Fred loved the Zelda series, which we did. We planned out the majority of the main questline from the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time when all went to our rooms and waited. Fred came back from his meeting totally exhausted, and his roommate said, "Wow, you look tired. I bet some apple juice will help you feel better." I have never heard someone scream so loud for apple juice. His roommate then handed him 1 bottle saying, "It's dangerous to go alone, take this," while playing the intro theme song to the quest, and sent him on his way to the first quest in my room. He had to collect 3 spiritual stones, a beginning of the game for those not familiar, and he seemed done with the whole thing. It was obvious he thought I had all this apple juice, which made this all the more fun to watch. When he finally finished, he demanded his apple juice, and he was so confused as when I opened the fridge for him to see only 2 little bottles sitting in it. I then handed him the Master Nerf gun, and was met with a blank stare. After what felt like an eternity, it clicked in his head that this was just the beginning. He took it and thrust it above his head towards the sky, immediately going into character. The rest of the night was him running around our floor completing quests to get his apple juice back, but he was no longer in it for the apple juice, he was just doing it for fun. He got more into it as time went on, as everyone else who was involved did. The person playing the part of the final boss even wrote an entire monologue complete with a strobe light. Well, it was his roommate flicking the light switch rapidly, but it still worked. By the end of the night, Fred had completely forgotten he was doing it for the apple juice. What started out as a small prank turned into an all-night event that turned everyone into close friends. I still talk to these people 9 years later. To give an even happier ending, 2 of the people that were involved in giving quests recently got married, and all of the main participants of that night were there. That's the best prank I've ever pulled, and I would do it again in a heartbeat. I had back surgery in 2008, and I didn't see hide nor hair of any of my real-life friends. But an older lady I had met on the Sims 2 message board sent flowers, called me every day, and bought me a subscription to an online game site so I'd have something to do while I recovered. She was in Seattle, and I'm in Ohio. Eventually she moved to Florida, and we drove down so I could meet her. We remained friends until she passed a couple years ago. I miss her so much. This one nearly got me, but I love old people. They're so wholesome. In case no one said it to you today, you matter. If you're struggling out there, keep your head up. Even in the darkest of hours, you are more relevant than you can imagine. Don't let the obstacles of life keep you from being the best you. No matter what, it can get better. I wish you were right. I am right. I'm going to follow you so we can keep up together. See that you're in the UK. Next time I'm in the UK, we should consider a meetup with some other homies in the neighbourhood. Okay, this is my favourite one. Again, it's a little bit long, but again, it is so worth it. This is Jesse. He's a drifter who lives near the bridge in my area. He owns nothing but a bike, a bird, and a bag of about 10 items. Yesterday, while I was riding my bike down at the beach, which is about 5 kilometers from my house, I got a flat tire. I had no choice but to turn around and wheel my bike the long walk home. A few people rode past, but didn't really pay me any attention, and I didn't expect them to. But as I started walking, headphones in my ears, I noticed the homeless guy from under the bridge saying something to me. At first I thought he was going to ask me for something, so I popped my headphones out and asked him what he wanted. He then replied, "I don't want anything, bruh, but I've got a new tube in my bag that you can have it if you want." Shocked at first, I said, "No thanks," but he insisted. So I walked over to his little clearing where he had his things and his pet bird sat in a busted cage. He opened up his empty bag and gave me the tube, which was one of the very few things he had. He helped me change the tire, even pumped it up. I asked him how I could pay him back, and he said to me, "Don't worry about it, bruh, this is what it's all about." The enormity of his situation and the fact that he went out of his way to help me was so humbling. I mean, this guy was willing to give me his stuff and didn't want anything in return. To you and I, a bike tube would probably not mean much, but to a guy with so little, this item must hold enormous value. I could go on and on about how selfless this guy was to me. A total stranger, clearly in a much better position than him, some of his possessions, while people like us are so selfishly attached to all of our useless crap. Anyway, I just wanted to show you a pic of Jesse with his new Versace lenses, some fresh sneakers, a full belly and a cold beer. Felt good to do something for the bloke. I also went up to Woolies and got him a couple weeks worth of food and some seed for his bird. Man, he was ecstatic, even had tears in his eyes and couldn't thank me enough. But amidst me sitting there proud of my good deed and him singing me praises, I suddenly felt pretty bad. Because the truth is, if he didn't go out of his way to help me, I wouldn't have done anything for him. I ride past this guy all the time and never even think twice. Really knocked me off my high horse. Even though we sit around with our materialistic needs and pass judgment, this dude has something that none of us can buy. I guess what I'm trying to say is, thanks for the lesson in humanity, champ. Now back to your normal viewing. In the next few days, I'll try and post something mildly offensive so you know I haven't gone soft. Amazing story. Okay, so that's all for r/HumansBeingBros. I really hope you did enjoy it. As always, if you do want to see more content like this, then please do subscribe. My Twitter, Discord and Patreon links will be in the description, and any support is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!